Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, 8th of June, 2021. Thank you. Wanderley and I are here.
Guys.
Hello, guys. Our dear friends from SSI, thank you very much for being here with us. Our friends from Ireland, from UK, from Portugal, and from America. So thank you very much. Thank you, Kardec Radio, for supporting us on this discussion here today. And today we keep going on our Gospel according to Spiritism conversation, and we will go to chapter number 5, item 23. And the item 23 says voluntary suffering. So that's what we're going to discuss today, voluntary suffering. Okay, and probably we go to chapter item 24 and 25 as well today. So we're talking about voluntary suffering, then we go to true misfortune and hope. If a time allows, we go to melancholy. Okay? Oh, okay, so far so good. Let's start the ride here. Let me do the initial prayer. So let's welcoming all the brothers and sisters who are here today with us, who is watching this now and who will watch it in the future. Thank you very much for your attention. Also, I'd like to welcome all the brothers and sisters from the spiritual world who are supporting us, who are helping us to make this discussion. They make this available to everyone. May this prayer reach out to all brothers and sisters who are suffering any kind of needs, but especially those who are alone, with fear, desperate. Think about suicide or suffering from suicidal thoughts. May this help them. So be it. Amen. Okay. Okay, so welcome, Patrocinio. Good to have you here with us.
Hey, Patrocinio.
Okay, so, you want to kick off?
Yeah, here in this part, voluntary torments, Kardec is trying to explain to us that, sometimes we expose ourselves to certain levels of difficulties and unhappiness that we may find in our life because of we want. Nowadays, we can say that psychology says something very similar. Whenever, like example, you have people who always are pessimists or always are happy, but that they are always unhappy because they see the others, they have more than them, they have better things, material things, they have a better life than them, And Kardec's the spirits are trying to explain to us here that this kind of suffering that we have because of jealousy and pride, they are not sufferings that are real sufferings in our life, because we are choosing it because of our ego, our pride, our jealousy, towards the others. So that's we have to try to understand that that's not really the kind of suffering that the spirits they care, because they see that we are being prideful and choosing these kind of sufferings. And here, Kardec says here that sometimes a man likes to perturb himself. A man likes to agitate himself. So sometimes we create trouble for ourselves without the necessity of it. It's just because we are anxious, as we said, because we want to have what the others ones they have, especially with social media nowadays. We go to Instagram, we see that so many happy people, and we look sometimes in our life, and we're not that happy, and then we start to become unhappy or depression, because we want to have their life. We become jealous of them. And some people, they really suffer because of this. But as the Spirit explains here, that's not really the kind of suffering which the spirits, they care too much. They like us, they want to support us, but we are choosing this and by something quite small in general. But that's more or less here at the moment. What do you think, Stevan?
Well, you're quite right, but we needed to make a kind of connection here with question 933 of the Spirit's book, in which Kardec asked to the spirits if we are responsible for our suffering, and the spirits said, more than we think of. We are responsible for this. And voluntary suffering is that suffering which is a consequence from our wrongdoings. So it's unnecessary. But you can say now, hey, how you do, how I need to act? So more or less what is correct, what is right, what is not. In deep yourself, what is. Especially when you relate that with envy and jealousy with sorry,
bless you. It's
my hay fever here.
I hope so.
No, it is. It's itching everything here. Okay. Going back. Back to the tape.
Yep.
Okay. So, how can you not measure, but how do you know when you are doing a right thing or wrong thing? Unfortunately, there is no clear rules where you can read, like, don't do this, don't do that, do this, or don't do. I would say one good start is try to. Thank you, Patrocinio. A good start is try to not have any kind of decision or action if you feel that you have a jealousy and envy involved in it. Okay, because these are the two problematic feelings we have who deviate us from the right path. Okay? And those people who are too much jealous or envy other people, they don't have life, because they cannot rest. They cannot say, I have full confidence in someone else and I can go to bed and know what is going to what's gonna happen, it's beyond my power of decision. But those who are jealous, they cannot go to bed, they cannot have a good night of sleep, because all they're thinking, oh, what is doing, what happened there, if he met that person, if she met that person, if it is, oh, they want my place. They are always trying to figure out what's going on and creating uh, different scenarios, different behaviors. They are creating fantasies. I think that's the word, fantasies in their mind. And at the end, nothing of this fantasy is true, and they suffer. This is a kind of voluntary suffering. And this we need to avoid, because this harm our pathway of evolution. This harm our progress. This harm our way, how I see the world, how I see my neighbor, how I see life. That's my first thoughts, Wanderley.
No, I think it makes sense, but once we think about suffering or torment, for the translation which I have here, we have to understand, we have to maybe to think, but if I'm suffering, don't the good spirits care about me? And that's what we said in the beginning. This kind of suffering, once we are creating this kind of suffering for pride and jealousy, the spirits, as we said before, doesn't care. But here in the gospel, the spirits, they say the words, blessed are the afflicted, for they shall be consoled, like we have in the gospel. Certain do not apply to this, seeing that their preoccupations are not those to receive deserving recompense in heaven. What the spirits are saying, once your suffering that you have in your daily life is just because you care too much about what the other have, so jealous, or because you are too prideful, everything that you have is better than the others, or you are the best, you are the one, no one is right. As Steven said, you are just harming yourself. So you're gonna be suffering. But remember, there is a huge difference between this suffering than the suffering that, for example, someone causes to you, or maybe you get sick, or maybe have a tribulation in your life, or maybe you choose to suffer to help someone else. So for this kind of suffering, once you are trying to help someone, or if you are suffering something in life, you are accepting and you are trying your best to, of course, to try to suffer less. But at the same time, if there is some stage that say you are sick and you cannot do anything else, you're not going to be blaming life or God or whatever. You're just going to accept and say, okay, that's it. What can I do? So the suffering that we created for ourselves, as the spirits they say here, this kind of suffering, they are not the suffering which the spirits that would fit for this maximum, which is blessed are the afflicted. So once we create this, okay, you have the free will to do whatever you want, but be sure you are not alone. But the good spirits, they don't care much because it's all you are doing inside your mind. But whenever you start to realize that, whenever you said, okay, what am I doing with my path? What am I doing with my life? Your mentor always going to be suggesting good things to you. I said, come on, look, you are unhappy because you see your boss and your boss makes more money than you, but he studied more or whatever the ways that he got there. Don't be jealous. Work harder. Instead of being jealous, we should work harder to get what we want, but not because the others they have. So the good spirits, whenever we start to realize what we are doing, they're gonna come to you. But we need to give the first step. I'd say here, Steven, unless you wanna add something here, and here after in the end, he says here, these kind of people are calm because they do not create imaginary necessities for themselves. Is calmness then create their happiness, and who is like how it says here. Calm is not happiness. So they are happy even like if they are in a huge situation, now a turmoil situation. So those who are really happy are those who doesn't care about things that we should not really give attention for, things that they don't really matter to us. So we should be happy with whatever we have. That's what basically Fenelon is trying to say to us here, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also we need to figure out here, Wanderley. Unfortunately, we attach it to the material things, and our we think we need in order to progress, like having a better job or have more money or have a better car or something like this. We always make this kind of connection. For some people, the meaning of the word success is how much you have in your bank account right now and how much assets do you own. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we I'm not we are again, Vanderlei, I am not saying here material things is bad and you don't have to go it. No,
of
we are not
course.
saying this. We are saying here is you may pursue your financial progress without a question. What we need to avoid is become a slave of this. So while you are in control over it, no, you can have a control. Okay, I do have money to buy this, but I don't need it, and you don't buy. It's great, but when you go and buy, and after you buy, you don't know how you're gonna use or why you bought it. That's that's the problem.
Steve, you are coming right now to the item 24, the true misfortune, you know, and I agree with what you said because, as you said, like if you don't have the car that you want, the job that you want, these material things that we do not possess, if we say to the others and if we say to ourselves, I'm not happy because I don't have it, so you are not really misfortunated. You are not really unhappy. As Steven will say, you don't need this to be happy. But some people, as it says here, they say they are so misfortunated because they don't have they owe money to people. They don't, maybe they lost someone. Of course, that's sad. But once you believe in the afterlife, we understand that this pain will go away. But then Kardec gives here some possibilities. So if you don't have material things, you cannot say that you are unhappy. That's what I think, me and Steve were trying to say. Of course, you can play to try to get these things, but if you don't have them, if you have life, especially if you have someone beside you, Stephen like has a beautiful family, Stephen, maybe he may never have, I don't know, a nice car. Stephen, tell me a nice car. I don't know, uh,
BMW.
I don't know, BMW. Stephen may never have the BMW in his life, but I'm sure he's never gonna say that he's unhappy because he has a wonderful family. So what we give, we have to give importance to things which really makes us happy, and that's what this part is talking about here. About the voluntary torments through misfortune. But yeah, what do you think, Steven?
No, it is. It is right, but again, we need to really understand what is where this take gonna take us, where these decisions you need to make will take us. I know some people it's impossible. You have a decision which please everyone. It's kind of impossible right now. Like let's say you are a president of a prime minister of a country. It's impossible when you have a decision and you please 100% of the entire population. You know, but you can have your decision when you try to evaluate which is more charitable decision, which is the decision I will benefit more people instead of harming others. What is the best decision I need to make right now in order to really bring everyone to the same level without these prejudices, without thinking, oh, this is higher than the other. So we need to understand that the real misfortunes, it is based in our wrong choices. That's the real misfortunes. And the trick thing here, what we are trying to talk to you today is how to avoid it, if we can avoid it. Oh,
Yeah, but it's like this, Steven. Even if once we make mistakes, the problem that we always say is like this: do not stay stuck in the mistake. Move on. Because
yeah,
okay, I made a mistake. I took a wrong decision. What can I do? Maybe you took the best decision you could at that time. Maybe you are still having problems for decisions that you took once you were 20 years old or 15 years old. And now you are maybe 35, 37, 40, whatever, and you're still thinking about 20 years ago. So maybe once you committed that decision, that mistake, maybe that was the best you knew. So everything is a way we have to give the correct importance to things. There is no right and wrong. It's everything. There are experiences in our life, ways for us to progress. But as Steven said, always try to choose the best one which fits good for yourself and the others, surrounding you. But here, just to finish here about misfortune, Steven, if you want to go to the other part, sometimes what we call misfortune to us can be something quite good or blessing in the future.
yeah,
So here the spirits, they give an example. Okay, maybe, I don't know, something really bad happened in the world like we have with the COVID now, but I don't know, maybe in 20 years time, because we went through COVID, we're going to understand that much better. Then in the future we're going to be able to save 1 million lives. I've just given an example here, but what we are trying to say is this: sometimes things happen and we think it's really bad, but with time we start to see that wasn't so bad, or that helped us in a way that once we were there in the middle of the turmoil, we couldn't see. So that's why we have to really be careful to be judging what's good and what's bad. Maybe it's bad now, but that's why we say give it a go for tomorrow. Wake up tomorrow and see how is everything. Once everything, you are a bit more calm. If it's not tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next year, things they can change. So there is no real misfortune depending the way that you see things, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, I like this sentence here. It's on item 24. Misfortune for those who see nothing but the present. However, true misfortune is found more in the consequences of a thing than in the thing itself. Tell me if an event that is most happy for the moment, but which leads to disastrous consequence, is not really more unfortunate than the one that at first caused a great vexation, but ends up resulting in the good. So that proves what Wanderley just said to us. So let's see. There's a question here from Gabriel. So could we say that life is a blessing in disguise? If you understood the question here.
Yeah, but maybe I understood. This guy's here for me is like once it's something is dressed up, disfarce.
Uh,
That's what I understood about the word.
Let me see. Like we see so many people suffering. I think I know what the thing. Well, Gabriel, the point is we need to understand that, again, we repeat this many times. There is no punishment. Nobody here is to punish you or put you in timeout because you did this or did that. What we have here is when we reincarnate, we decide which trials we will face. I know there are a lot of people suffering, and this is so bad. I know, but for some reason, they are those sufferings is a consequence of their actions, and we include ourselves in this as well. You know, it's not because you are saying this because you are guilt free here. No, what we are saying is the law of action and the reaction is unchangeable. Nobody can change it. But you can say, oh, but how can you explain a baby, for example, having cancer? I don't know, going through so many problems and they didn't have time to live in order to create this. And the good question to you here is, and if the baby, when they were as spirits, and they decide, okay, I need to go through this because I need to learn something.
Yeah,
Gabriel
I
says,
agree with Patrocinio. If
yeah,
there is no reincarnation in the in this kind of thought, there is no way to really to figure out these things. Reincarnation is the key. Yeah,
yeah.
because that is just one life. How can you really explain
And just
certain
to
suffering?
close my idea here, is not because my brother is suffering that I will say that I will come to him, hey, hang on, because you did a very bad thing in the past, or you were a really bad person today and you are suffering because you deserve. No way. Our role in this is, even though we know that's perhaps we know that the root cause of this, and that we need to support them. We need to make this burden become soft for them, regardless what they did, regardless the person they are. Our position as a human being is always look after our brothers and sisters and support them in all we need. Like, for example, if Wanderley needs to go and face a problem, I need to cover his back, and he needs to cover my back. I have nothing to do with his business, and he don't need to do anything with my business as well. But since we are here today, we know each other. Why we cannot help him? Starting doing this with the people you know, with the people who is part of your life. Once you have this already set up in yourselves, set up in yourself, then you can expand this to people you don't know. But starting doing this with people you know, see how can you help. See how can you avoid that suffering. The same way we decide to go a certain trial, we have people who decide to come with us in this journey to help us to fight this and eliminate this problem of our life. And we don't know if we are one of these people. I don't know. If I am the one, bad choice Wanderley did, but anyway, I'm here. I need to support him. He needs to support me. And we are okay, we need to support other people. So the key thing here, it is incarnation. 100% agreed. But the key thing here is kindness and solidarity. It's not because someone's suffering. You tell him, oh, you need to suffer because you did something. Oh, okay, hang on, stay well, good, no problem. No. What you can do to minimize this people's suffering. That's the key thing. This is called solidarity. When we act more in this way, then we say we will start to change the world. Then we change the flip side of the coin in order to achieve like regeneration, all these better words is yet to come. While we are, oh, it's his problem, not my problem. He's suffering. Oh, deal with that because I have no problem here. We will have a problem. Okay, Wanderley, you're too serious?
No, just I agree with you 100%. But to Gabriel, there is just suffering because of our actions. That's it. There is no suffering because God is bad or because the world is bad. The world is what it is because of us, not because of the good spirits or because of God. If we are in the stage that we are, that so many people are suffering, believe it is because all of us, we did our actions in the past, in the previous lives, and in this life. Most of the time, in this life, our suffering is related to these actions that we are doing now, most of the time. But that's it. The suffering will only end once we start to be more kinder, as Steven said. Then in the next generation, then the other generation, we're gonna have less and less and less suffer because people there are being nicer to each other. Until there, we're still gonna be suffering. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Again, suffering will always exist until certain level. But since we have solidarity with us, this suffering it's a less painful one for everyone. This is what we
The
need
only
to.
sorry, Steven. Oh,
No,
sorry.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, the only thing that we have to avoid that in Spiritism we try to explain to everyone that have a different philosophical religious backgrounds, and we respect all of them because some people they still believe that there is a mean, really bad God sitting somewhere upstairs, saying, "I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm gonna make you suffer. I'm gonna make you suffer because you did this." A God which cares about what I eat or what I don't eat or what I see or what I say or what I don't say to people. No. God, as we said, like I think it was last week or a week before, there is the action of law there is the action of law, there is the law of action and reaction, as Steven said. Everything we do, it's counting there. So the suffering is not because God is bad. God doesn't want us to be suffering anymore. But we are still stubborn and we still choose the wrong actions. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me see. And I think we can jump into the melancholy.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me see if that is another part here. Before we go jumping, I like this passage here from my spirit. May Spiritism enlighten you and reestablish truth and error in their
Mm.
true light after having been so strangely deformed by your blindness. I love this sentence. I love this sentence. We need to we need to understand, like, we are actually here blind because we do we love judge people. We love to
Oh, yeah.
point the fingers and say, "Oh, you did this. You're a bad person. You are." We love this. We love it. But at the end, how we judge someone? We judge someone according to the values we have acquired. That's how we judge. That's the parameter we use in order to decide if what that person did is right or wrong. And sometimes, and I would say most of the times, we will end up very bad in this kind of situation because we do not understand what's the reason. Like Wanderley said at the beginning, sometimes a suffering right now is a blessing tomorrow.
Mm.
It's a blessing. Why? Because I acquire knowledge, I acquire more experiences to move on. Like like what happened to us right now. It's bad. It is very bad, without a question. Like, I don't know, like more than 1 million people passing, dying, in which we don't have a medicine, or still everything is kind of a guessing. There is no protocols, a lot of confusion. Oh, we will adopt this protocol, the other country adopt the other protocol. Who is right, who is wrong? I don't know. But
Mm.
what I can guarantee to you is what we are having today will make us strong. This is not a political speech or nothing like this. What I'm saying is, in terms of society, in terms of humankind, this this is gonna help us. Somehow we're gonna help. Some people need to understand why they are passing through that situation, why they are having that situation. Like for example, we see a lot of people helping, let's say, breast cancer. Oh, let's support breast cancer, breast cancer. Until you don't have it, you don't have the cause. You don't stand by that cause. Only those who suffer from breast cancer or have any relative which had this breast cancer will not support that cause. So why we need to suffer in order to support? That's the problem. Thank God we can support without suffering. That's the ideal thing. That's what we need to do. We needed to support without suffer the consequences of it. No, I'm helping my brother who are without any shelter on the street, not because I want everybody to see how good I am, or because, oh, they told me this is good, I need to do good things in order to get good things. No, you need to help the brother we are on the street without shelter because you love him or you love her. Because seeing them in that position hurts you. That's why you need to support them. It's not because, oh, you donate 1 million euros to this just because I need you to pay less tax. You know? So, and how it connects with the melancholy. Melancholy is attached when you have everything. Most of us, 99% of the people here say, oh, money solve all the problems. If I have a big fat bank account, I do not have a problem. Of course you're going to have a problem. Of course you have. Like any other, different problems, but you have problems. And the melancholy is, let's take this example. A person has a lot of money, but they cannot, a famous actor, no, have a lot of money. Why have so much money, but they cannot walk freely in a mall, shopping mall? They cannot go and have an ice cream with the family, with the friends, without being annoyed by these people who are all the time getting autograph, getting all this, getting all that. So they need to lock themselves in the house. And then what happened? Melancholy. Because, hey, I have all this money, but I cannot do anything. And we have seen a lot of these examples. Some people kill themselves. Because they are weak. No, they are not weak. Because you don't know if someone who approaches you is because of your money or because that person really loves you. And when we reach that stage, it's so sad. It is so sad because you don't know if that person are with you because of compassion, because of love, or because of just your money. So, Wanderley.
No, just touching about melancholy. If you think nowadays, for the past 20 years, the last 20 years are the years which the psychologists and psychiatrists, they are making more profit than ever before. Okay. Why? Because people, they are all the time now with these ideas, as we said here before, on social medias and TV, but more social medias nowadays, that the other ones are better than mine, the other ones they have more than I have. And this melancholy here, which the gospel is trying to describe, is once the spirit starts to get bothered, bored about like, I have everything, as Stevan said, or I don't have anything, but it's all right. You don't really find excitement anymore in life. And Joana de Angelis always says that someone who has too much melancholy, we can say in this way, is someone who has a lot of spare time, who has a lot of free time. Because if you have a lot of time, you can try to help someone. Of course, if you are able to go and try to help people on the streets, happy days, good for you. But maybe you can help someone, a flatmate for most of us here in Ireland who are sharing, Sometimes you may have a difficult flatmate. Try to help that flatmate. Put your energy into action. Because if your energy is place it into action, you're never gonna have not never, but you're not gonna have melancholy. More than likely, not gonna have depression. So sometimes melancholy, that's the word which the Kardec, the spirits they use, because I don't think there was the word depression in the 19th century. Maybe I'm wrong, but we can say that they are quite linked. The spirits are trying to say that once the spirit start to really wandering around and start to see everything more or less gray without really any excitement, the spirit loses its energy, to keep going. So we have to find ways. Maybe we don't have the way yet, but let's try and find you know, do some exercise, try to help someone close to you, or try to be helpful, try to cut a bit of grass, where you live or something like this. But if you don't do anything, this melancholy or depression may come to you. And once it comes, we know that it hits really hard.
Yeah.
And here we have...
Yeah, we have a good statement here from Gabriel saying, I suffer whenever I see people asking for something at the traffic lights. There are a lot of people here in São Paulo, by the way. I try to manage this situation because I really feel sad. Without mentioning that sometimes some judgmental thoughts come through my mind. I don't know why. I feel guilty when I can't help them. Well, Gabriel, I completely understand you, and I think Wanderley as well, because both of us are from São Paulo as well, so we know what you are. This is not something just happening in São Paulo, happening in all the other places. But what you can do is help those as much as you can. I really like one attitudes of Wanderley, and I'm really proud of it. When someone is asking money at the entrance of the shop here, Wanderley, instead of give the coin to them, because they're kind of, it's cheap. It's strange because who is begging on the street here wearing Nike shoes, very good, clothes, and they say, "Oh, I need your money because I need to drink. I need your money because I need to buy drugs." They not say, "Oh, I need to have 5 kids, two wives, 4 dogs, and I need your money." No. And Wanderley instead he say, "Hey, are you hungry?" "Yes, I am hungry." He goes to the shop, he buy a sandwich, a full meal, and give to that person. It's one way. I know it's sometime we need to do everything we can, but we cannot help everyone. But try to make a difference for at least one person. No, when you see someone with a sign say, "Hey, I am a driver and I need a job," why don't you ask permission, take a picture of that person, get the details, and spread these to your connections, and perhaps this person will have a decent job in hours. Why do not say to that person, "Hey, are you really hungry?" "Yes." Stop the car, buy a sandwich, buy something to them. Then you see the really difference between I need and I don't need. So, and today, especially like in Brazil, we can see a lot of this type of situations in which we don't know if someone's telling true. At the same time, you are afraid of to open your window and this is a catch for someone to come and rob you or do harm you, something. So if you're afraid of this, why don't you engage in a non-governmental
ONG.
ONG, no, yeah, organization, non-government organization, and really dedicate to them? So you are helping them. Perhaps you're not helping that person directly, but you are helping the cause, and you are in a safe environment. You are in a true cause. So why don't you join and engage your family in this cause? Is some way to help. So Wanderley, you know Zona Leste very well.
Yeah. No, I really think that whenever you want to help someone, if you really want, you find a way. Like my girlfriend, she wants to do something here for the community where we live. What does she do? She saw here there is a neighbor. She cleans the garden because the government they clean, but they clean only once every month here where I live. So they don't cut the grass. So this person does that herself. She offered her help. So she does this voluntary job here. So in Brazil, we have people who need more help, of course, financial help. So you can go there and try to help financially. If you are living in Ireland, people they don't really need much financial help here because the state supports. Of course, there are poverty, but you still can apply to help, homeless, giving soup, or trying to talk to elderly people. There are ways of doing things. Maybe with COVID now is a bit difficult, but whenever you want to help, you can find a way. The problem that we have is like this: I want to help in my way. I want to help in the way which someone on Instagram is doing. I want to help in that way. No, if you really want to help, any kind of help is help. You see André Luiz in the book Nosso Lar, Astral City. He wants to be a doctor in the spiritual world once he came. They said, no, you're not good enough for that. Go and clean the floor. Help.
Or you're more worried about take your selfie, take a mobile. I'm helping, and you take a
Yeah,
selfie.
that's it. Yeah, like this. So some people they want to they want to help in their own way. It's like this. You have to help as much as you can in the way which the person needs, because perhaps the way that you want to help that person is not what that person needs. For example, as Stevan said, when someone asks me money, I say I don't give you money because I know you're gonna take drugs. But if you're hungry, I buy you a sandwich. I don't want sandwich. Okay, I take my way and go home. I don't care. Why I don't care? Because that person needs help, but the help which that person needs, I cannot help with that person. So I'm not gonna feel guilt because I cannot do it. But there are some people who really are hungry. But some people they just want to take drugs. And that's up to them, it's their choice. But sometimes you just can't do much. That's it, I guess.
Yeah, and Gabriel said something very well done, Gabriel. You should say this to us, not we are saying this to you. That's why some of friends of mine and I started a group called Associação Centro Vivo. We collect clothes and food to donate to families in need. My friend, you are doing your part, my dear friend. Again, actually, you hit the nail on the head. We cannot help everyone. No, we cannot help everyone, but at least you can start to make difference for those who are surrounding us. And this is what you're doing with this association. You started with your friends, donating clothes, donate food. As Wanderley well said here in Ireland, perhaps is not the hungry a problem. Money is not a problem. Is a problem more is a moral need is a problem. They need someone who talk to them. They need someone who not even not talk. They need someone to listen. Then sometimes you just listen what they are saying, and that's the way they find out their own solutions. But it's actually they need someone who really sees them. And that's why when you approach that person, say, hey, how are you? Look at the eye of that person and say, okay, are you really, what's your situation now? Oh, my situation is I have kids, I have this. Oh, let me make you give me your address and everything, and I'm gonna give you a food to you. Or what do you need? And the person just look to you and they start talking. You don't need to open your mouth. And they start talking. And when end, they find a solution without you saying anything. But you did the major thing for them. You see that person and you listen that person. This is more in Europe, I would say, what we have, the situation we have right now. But everyone is free to do whatever pleases you. Again, Gabriel, don't feel guilty for not helping the others, but you are trying to do, and well done to you if to you and your friends starting this kind of association. Thank you. I want to say thank you for this.
Yeah, even Jesus couldn't help everyone, you know. So many people we see in the miracles in the gospel, Jesus doing that and doing that, you know. And we think, oh, he helped so many people, but he didn't help like as many people as, not that he helped as many people as he could, but so many people who came to ask for help for Jesus, they didn't really want help.
Yeah.
That's why all the time he said, what do you really want from me?
All the time, everybody. If
Yeah,
you read all the time, Jesus asks you then,
just
what
always
do
ask
you
why,
want
because
from me? He doesn't come
that's
saying,
it.
oh, Wanderley, you need a new glasses. Okay, come here. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you no, because he understood that not everyone who is suffering wants to be helped. Jesus could understand that, and he never was against it, or he was never blaming or giving out to people, because he understood that each one of us, we have our own time. So sometimes people, we think that they want help, but sometimes they don't really want help. They sometimes, as Steven said, maybe they just want to be heard. And if that's the case, do your best. But sometimes you just see people asking for help, but in fact they are not ready or they do not want. That's why Jesus, we have in the gospel, do not give pearls to the pigs. What he's trying to say, do not give your energy to everything and everyone. Help as much as you can, but try to be smart to analyze. Try to be smart to judge. Sometimes we judge wrong. Yes, we
Yeah.
do. But try to analyze, because sometimes you have to step back and see, does that person really need that? Because maybe the person just wants to be smart with you. And unfortunately, we have this kind of people everywhere.
Yeah. And I had one, just to finish up because our time is near the, I have this memory. I don't know what was my age, but I think it's like between something between 10 to 11, 10 to 12, 9 to 11. Uh, my mom, she was washing the garage, and I was helping her because not voluntary, she kind of, you want to play outside? Help me here. You don't help me here, you don't play outside. Okay, so my brother and I were helping her, and suddenly came a lady, you know, very bad dressed, and she said, "Hey, could you give me some money. I have, I don't know, 10 kids, hungry, all these things. And my mom said, okay, well, I'm cleaning here. Do you mind to help me here, and I give you money, and she said, and then she changed the attitude of a suffering attitude to I say, I'm asking a money and not asking for a job. And she turned around and went away.
Yep.
So this come across exactly what Wanderley said. What do you need? You want just money, or you want a job? Ask the question. That's it. Just something come up to my mind from my memory.
Oh, good.
Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the inputs here. Gabriel, thank you. Patrocinio. Patricia, thank you, my dear friends. It was nice to have you all here. Just some announcements here. Don't forget that every Wednesday we do have our study group. The Spiritist book study group. It's 8 p.m. This is virtual, but it's not live. So you need to send an email to Spiritism Ireland, spiritismireland@gmail.com, and Nade or Tanya will send you the link. So it's open to everyone. No background required. You don't need no. You don't need no. The only thing you need is coming with open heart. That's what you need. Okay. And also we do have our lives on every Tuesday, every Wednesday, and our Sunday talks, 11:15 a.m. Ireland time, and the lives is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:15 p.m. Ireland time as well. So thank you very much again, and Wanderley, could you do the final prayer for us?
Okay, guys. I'd like to invite everyone, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. I'd like to thank once again for the opportunity to be talking about Spiritism in Ireland. I'd like to thank everyone who have been supporting us since the start of COVID here in our lives on Facebook and YouTube. But we would like to thank even more to the good spirits for this opportunity that myself and Stevan and all the volunteers we have to be working, to be studying Spiritism, to be working with Spiritism. That's good for everyone, but it's good for us also. That's why we keep doing. We do with pleasure, with love, and we hope that the love that we feel about Spiritism may reach you guys also, and the enlightening ideas of Spiritism can come close to your heart and mind. May the good spirits help us to keep doing our job, and may the good spirit supporting the Spirit Society of Ireland and all the workers outside of Brazil, in Europe, spreading Spiritism, in Asia, in Oceania, and everywhere around the world. May our Master Jesus be with us all the time, being the workers of the vineyard. Thank God, and so be it.
Amen. Okay, guys. Thank you all. I'll see you next on Thursday. Thank you. Have a nice
Thanks,
evening.
guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.